Hey, good people. It's your girl, Frederica McClary Easley, back with another offering from Flow to Heal Yoga. So, I don't know where you are in the world, but here where I am and where I just was, it is cold. It is like a frozen tundra. And so, we know what that does to our bodies, right? Like we know that heat warms us up, loosens our muscles. Um, And so cold, of course, causes us to tense up and to contract and to come into ourselves, tighten up because we are trying to get warm, right? Um, so I wanted to offer a flow today that is perfect for you to do before you even get out of the bed, right? I've been receiving some feedback on girl, 11 a.m., noon, whatever, that midday flow. Some of us can do it, some of us can't because of schedules and things of that nature. And so we need something that's a little more accessible, right? So I was thinking, in today's present climate, there's a lot going on. And it is necessary to prepare yourself, right? Whether that is first thing in the morning or how are you decompressing at the end of the day. And so this flow is going to be one that you can do in the bed before your feet even hit the floor. You can do this where you lay. Okay. So I'm going to set the timer and we're going to get started. All right. So I'm going to have you start out on your back. This is corpse pose or savasana. We're going to place palms on belly or heart or one on each. We're going to start with controlled breathing in through your mouth, in through your nose, out through your mouth, exhaling and getting rid of all of the stale air. Even though you're laying down, I want these breaths, these inhales, these exhales to be big, to be juicy. So we'll start with a 4 count. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. On your next inhale, I want you to raise your arms overhead. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. And make sure on your inhale that you are also pointing your toes. The purpose of this is to stretch out through your furthest points. So the tips of your fingers and your toes, your big toe, right? So you are pointing your feet, actively stretching as if you're trying to reach the footboard or whatever the back wall is. And then again, on your inhale, you are raising your hands overhead and stretching like you're taking a good yawn. So inhale and exhale. Bring your arms down and flex your toes towards your head. Next, we are going to do some knee bends, okay? So we're going to start with our left side. Bring your leg up. We're going to grab for our hamstring, the back of our thigh. Just a gentle back and forth, starting to open up your pelvic area. Be sure to engage your core while you're doing this. Tuck your chin towards chest. And release. And our right side, come up. and release. Bring both legs up into happy baby. So wide leg stance, grabbing for the outside edges of your feet. Give yourself a gentle rock here, side to side. And so this pose has tension, right? So you are pulling your legs down with your hands and pushing up through the soles of your feet, opening up your pelvic area, starting to engage your quads and your hamstrings. I like to do some ankle rolls while I'm in this position. And if reaching for the soles of your feet is not accessible at this time, that's okay. Make sure you don't reach for any joints. So I don't want you reaching for ankles or knees. I want you reaching for either calves or thighs. I also like to just reach for my thighs sometimes, bend at the knee, and really get a deep pull, a deep stretch here. When you're ready, bring legs together. Release them in front of you. I'm going to have you sit up. I'll turn to the front and we'll do some side stretches. So if you were laying in a bed, you would just sit on up. If you have some fleshy bits, I want you to actually move your meat, out the way so that you are truly sitting, especially in the bed. I want you to have a good foundation so that you are truly sitting on your bottom, on your glutes, and not, kind of being wobbly because of, we call it the sexy extra, if you will, right? So inhale, arms above head, engage core, and side stretch to your right. So your left arm is overhead. This right arm that is off to your side can be as far out or as close to you as comfortable. But again, we're just going for a side stretch here. And when you're ready, inhale and exhale to the other side. When you're ready, come back into center. Let's do some neck stretches, left and right, up and down. And make sure you're breathing in and out at your pace. Breath per movement. So inhale and exhale. And inhale and exhale. Bring the soles of your feet to touch. Baddha Konasana. So this is a butterfly pose. The purpose of this pose is, again, opening up this pelvic area, opening up your hips. Do not worry about your knees or your legs actually touching the mat. The goal of this, like I said, is to feel the stretch in this kind of V area, right? In this diamond area, okay? And so this is another pose where we're going to offer, or we're going to engage with tension. So your arms are pushing down as your legs are trying to push up. Core engaged. Bring knees back to touch. We're going to go into a boat pose. And so as if you were, just kind of sitting up with your knees bent, I want you to slowly come back until you feel your core engaged, right? So that's going to be a personal feeling for you. I'm not going to tell you to come down to 45 or 35, or whatever the case may be. When you feel your core engaged, that's when I want you to stop. Okay? This is one of those poses that people typically hold their breath on. I do not want you to hold your breath. I want you to make sure that you stop in a place where you can still comfortably breathe. And it may be a little discomfort, but I want you to intentionally make sure you're still breathing, okay? For those who want a little more of a challenge, you can lift your legs up in boat pose, but otherwise, you are already engaged here, okay? We're going to hold this for 4, 3, 2, 1, and come back up. And one more boat pose. Come down to where you feel your core engaged. And 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back up. Swing your legs around so that you are now in, raise this up a little bit, so that you are now in a seated pose. You can also come into hero pose where your legs are spread to the outside of your thighs and your glute or your butt is right on the mat. Or you can just relax your glute to your heels, okay? This is an opportunity to start stretching out those quads. All right, so I'm in a traditional pose. And as I start stretching out the quads, what I want you to do is to place your hands to the side of you, gently walking them back, and push up. So think of this similar to like a modified bridge pose, right? We're pushing up, engaging our core, tucking our tailbone, squeezing our glutes together. And so you're going to feel this, like I said, in your glutes as well as your quads, which is the top of your thighs. And come back. One more time. Back and push up. You'll also feel this in your triceps. You'll feel this in your shoulders. So it's almost a full body engagement. And we are done. So that was a flow or offering that you can do in the bed before you even start your day, or you can do in the evenings as you are trying to decompress from your day, especially those who have, who sit often or maybe even move around, right? But we want to make sure that we are taking the time to check in with our nervous system, to go into a state of controlled breathing, and to engage as much of our body as possible. So I will see you next offering. Make sure you flow so that you can heal.